these were all in vain, as I hope we will.
I'd like to call to order a meeting of the City Council. Councilor Gould will assume the chair as President pro tempore.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Welcome, everybody, to Peabody's inauguration for 2025. We're thrilled to have everyone here. I'd like to acknowledge Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll is in the house. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Welcome again to Peabody City Hall for our Organization of City Government ceremony. I'd like to start this evening's ceremony welcoming for the postings of the colors, the Peabody Veterans Council, the Peabody Police and Fire Honor Guards led by Police Chief Tom Griffin and Fire Chief Jay Dowling, as well as the PVMHS Air Force Junior ROTC. Welcome. Hold on, Tom. It's America. Which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to have a moment of silence, and we'd like to dedicate the moment of silence tonight in memory of Ginny Mavros, a beloved member of our City Hall community who passed away this weekend. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, so.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, so we got Father Chris. I'd like to welcome Father Christopher from St. Facilio's Church to come up and do an invocation, please. Father Chris.
Almighty and sovereign God, as our city celebrates this evening the installation of our elected officials, we pray your kingdom come. May your Holy Spirit instill in Mayor Betancourt and our elected city council members the spirit of righteousness and the values and principles of your kingdom, and to exercise the sacred trust of administering this great city of Peabody. Give our mayor, city councilors, and all our elected officials of our city the ability to honor you by doing what is right, fair and just for all citizens, especially the poor, the hungry, and the marginalized. We ask that all the people of our city, irrespective of race, gender, ethnicity, or religious faith, be treated with dignity. We pray for the wholeness, health, integrity, soundness, welfare, security, prosperity, harmony, and justice for all the citizens of Peabody. Help our city to develop policies that foster tranquility, harmony, safety, and friendships that can advance our city's development, progress, and growth. Now all glory to God, who is able, through his mighty power at work within us, to accomplish the infinitely more than we might ask or think. Glory to God in our houses of worship, in our city, in our commonwealth, through all generations, forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. Again, I'd like to thank the Honor Guard from the Fire Department and Police Department. Thank you very much. And Father Chris for the invocation. And how about a nice hand for John Simmons and the chorale from Peabody High School. The first item of business is the election of the 2025 City Council President. Would Councilor Manning Martin please come forward? I'm sorry, would you prefer to sit or you?
I'm fine, right here, Councilor.
Okay,
thank you.
Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is an honor that I place into consideration for City Council President for the year 2025, a person who is no stranger to public service or dedication to her hometown. This councilor has worn many hats over the years, gaining vital knowledge of city government and operations, and has been a great addition to the City Council over the last few years. Councilor Julie Daigle began her service to the City of Peabody as an intern at City Hall, gradually gaining the respect and confidence of Peabody's last three mayors, Mayor Turigian, Mayor Bonfanti, and the current Mayor Betancourt, who all trusted her to bring her talent to essential city departments, specifically the Treasurer's Office and Community and Planning Development. As the city's first business liaison and former executive director of the Peabody Chamber of Commerce, with a degree in business administration and accounting, Councilor Julie Daigle brings business acumen and real-world experience that will lead the City Council through whatever challenges we will face in the new year. Therefore, it is without hesitation that I nominate Councilor Julie Catherine Daigle for Peabody City Council President for the year 2025. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin. I appreciate your nomination for Councilor Daigle. On the motion for Julie Daigle, are there any other motions to be put on the floor or nominations on the floor?
Move to close nominations.
Move to close nominations. Seeing none, we'll proceed with the vote of the motion. Madam Clerk.
Please vote by name. Councilor Daigle.
Present.
Gamache.
Julie Daigle.
Gould.
Julie Daigle.
Higgins.
Julie Daigle.
Manning Martin.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
McGinn.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Melville.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Peach.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Rossignol.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Turco.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Welton.
Julie Catherine Daigle.
Julie Daigle elected as City Council President for the year 2025.
Madam President, please come to the podium. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You good? You know what you got to do?
Yeah, but let's do me first, but
I'm going to your
we'll be. Oh, hello. This is on. This is live. Thank you, everyone. This is very exciting, and I'm going to apologize because my notes might be out of order, but welcome 2025, and I'm going to thank some people that I'm glad to see in the crowd. First of all, Mayor Edward A. Betancourt Jr., Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, Senator Joan Lovely, State Rep Tom Walsh, State Rep Sally Cairns. I see their school superintendent in the crowd as well. And then our elected officials, our school committee is over here to my left, or most of your rights, our electric light commissioners, some library trustees, city department heads might be floating around. The clergy, thank you. Most importantly, friends, constituents, and family. We've got a great group. Oh no, I see I'm being videotaped by my cousin. We've got a crowd of 15 of the Daigle family over here, so thank you. I am sorry my son can't be here. He should be in bed right now. It's a school night. And I have to thank a couple of people that have been especially helpful to me. I'm looking over at Patty Marcus and Mary Theo. You guys are my go-to for party planning, fundraising, and election events. Thank you. Most importantly, my, where are you, Dad? My best friend in the world, and also my part-time secretary who manages to take phone calls and complaints from neighbors as he's walking down my street. He lives in New Hampshire, but he squats with me a lot, so I have to thank him for being very kind and helping me with all of this. Thank you, Dad. It's an honor to be here before you tonight and to have earned the votes from my fellow colleagues on the City Council. I thank you for your trust in me. I want to recite a very serious quote from a movie that my dad and I watched recently with my son from Moana 2, big movie. And the quote is that there are some things that we are never ready for. This is me tonight. But if you asked me years ago, I would never have seen this coming. But I have to say that due to the support of all of these guys on the floor and ladies, I feel like I can navigate through this because you guys have been really good and really supportive. And I appreciate that. And I think I take a lot of pride that we work well together. So we don't always agree, but at the end of the night, we have very amicable conversations. And this is something that I learn and appreciate. I was lucky enough, I think Councilor Gould had a party, a council party, and he invited me to it, and Bob Driscoll came and spoke, and that's one thing I took away, and he said, you know, we might not agree, but at the end of the day, we have to get along. So thank you for inviting me to that, and I have always taken that away. We have a lot before us in the year ahead. Our agendas are already filling up fast. I have very big shoes to fill from my colleague, Councilor Peach, who's smiling at me across the way. She ran a really seamless term. And as president, she, I think, broke a record for the most efficient and shortest amounts of meetings. And she cites the economy and says, oh, there's no business. And I don't believe that. I think she just did her due diligence. Everything was, you know, she brought the brevity to it, but she did a lot of work and she was very thorough. So I thank you, Councilor Peach. And you, again, you have big shoes to fill. And I don't know, I hope that you get a seat right over here so you can coach me in the year ahead. We have a lot of exciting projects, including a new public safety building, high school, and open space and resources that I'm sure that the mayor will mention in a few short minutes, because I will be brief. I do hope the economy will pick up. It has always been a priority, and I think it's on us to be proactive, pro-business, business-friendly. Tax revenue is more important than ever, and I've learned from being the business liaison, as Councilor Manning Martin pointed out, the city treasurer, and working from the private sector, that time is money, and it's on us to expedite the permitting process and while maintaining quality of life for the residents in the city. So I think my opinion is the best part of being on the city council is meeting new people. A few of you are among us, and figuring out how to help you all. We have a dynamic team, being our council, and the mayor's. We work well with the mayor's office and the department heads. I stress this to constituents every day, and they agree for the most part. And I think the transparency that we have is very important. Exactly 100 years ago today, according to this, I brought a little showcase, and it's stained with coffee. This report will tell you that 100 years ago today, the first evening inaugural event of city government was introduced by Mayor Robert A. Bakeman to enable more citizens to attend the inauguration at night. Here we are. Fortunately, we now have PBD TV who can cover these events so anyone can watch from the comfort of their own home. We have Zoom. And with the help of the city clerk's office, I had another piece of swag. We had a nice piece of literature that I would like to update, showing people the who, what, where, and when of city departments and help make things more transparent. So after several years, I'm jumping around, I'm sorry. So I thank you for Councilor Manning for the nomination. And when asked if I wanted to use my middle name, it was an easy yes, as it's my grandmother's name, Catherine Johansson O'Neill. She was married to a police officer, Scotty Johansson, and followed the PBD news as much as she possibly could at the time. I wish she could be here tonight, but I hope she's watching over us with Barbara O'Neill, and I hope that they are thoroughly entertained and yet proud of the work that we are all doing. So it gives me great comfort to think I made her proud, and the legacy of my grandparents, my grandmother and my grandfather, will continue on. I would like to wish you all a happy and healthy, safe New Year, and look forward to seeing you all around town. And now I will open up, actually, I think I'm gonna jump over to invite, we're a little out of order from the program. I'm gonna invite the former council president, Peach, to come up and say a few words, and then we'll draw our seating positions. Thank you.
Thank you, President Daigle. I'm thrilled to say that. We had a rock, paper, scissors 2 years ago as to who would be president first, and I clearly lost. But jokes aside, welcome everyone. 2024 was an excellent year. As President Daigle alluded to, we had the most meetings that adjourned prior to 9 p.m. than I think this council has ever seen. I will attribute a lot of that to the economy, but I will also attribute that to a great council. We are not here to hear ourselves talk. We're not here for sound bites. We're here to do work. And I think the work that we've done really reflects that. In 2024, this council supported a new public safety building. We have, in my time serving on this council, we have supported forward-thinking projects that will build on the city of Peabody and put us in a good position, not tomorrow, not next year, but for years and years to come. And I think that's really the thinking we share as counselors. We don't always agree on when and where to invest in these projects, but we have ample discussion, and I thank you all for that, because we've seen bonding projects that we've supported, that we've discussed, zoning changes that we've discussed thoroughly and supported, that, in my belief, will further the city and put us in better positions. And because of our great debate, our great discussion, we've come up with better policy than what's initially been proposed to us. So I thank you all for that. 2024 was a great year. I won't say that I'll miss running the meetings. I look forward to sitting back on the floor, providing more of my opinion as you hold back a bit as the chair of a meeting. I'd like to, a few thank yous to the mayor and his office. They've always been great to this council, to the department heads who have been responsive to our council inquiries throughout the year. We cannot make informed decisions without you, so I appreciate everyone who's made timely responses to us to help us make informed decisions. To the city clerk and your staff, thank you for our meeting sidebars, but also the preparation that goes into each meeting. They don't run efficiently, and we don't get out at 9 p.m. if we don't prepare. To the police and fire, who have always been so supportive of the council. We have a lot of questions all the time, and it's not always at our Thursday night meetings. So I know a lot of the counselors are reaching out constantly to the police and fire, to our department heads, and just the staff in City Hall, and everyone is always so helpful and supportive. Last but certainly not least, thank you to my family. I'm pregnant, so I'm gonna cry. We all know that this job is not 2 Thursdays a month. It's daily. My family has come to countless events with me to keep me company, begrudgingly, to many of them. My kids have come on, walks and drives to check out sidewalks when people call. You don't do this job without the support of your friends and family, and I'm very lucky to be able to continue to do this job. And I think without the presidency this year, maybe we'll have a little bit more time. So looking ahead to 2025, I think we're gonna have a great year. I'm so confident in Councilor Daigle and how she'll run these meetings. She seems unsure, but she'll be there. So good luck, President Daigle. I look forward to getting out at 9 p.m., several meetings. You're going to do great, and thank you to my fellow councilors for a wonderful year of great debate and good government. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Peach. And on behalf of our council, we have a gift to present to you from the group. And you can open it at your leisure. I also have a personal gift that I bought for you in the summer. And I have to look, I think it's a phone charger, a fan, and a battery, all things that you needed on the council floor. Coincidentally, 3 days after I bought it, I found out you were expecting, and I think this might come in more handy in the hospital room. So
Thank you.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I will open up the very exciting drawing of the seat positions for our counselors for 2025. No cheating, anyone. Thank you.
We will draw by alphabetical order, and the first counselor is Counselor Gamache. Seat number 4.
I know I'm getting old. What's that say?
That's a 4. Counselor Gould. Seat number 3, Counselor Higgins. Seat number 5, Counselor Manning Martin. Counselors, it's number 6. Counselor McGinn. Seat number 8, Counselor Melville. Number 10, Counselor Peach. Number 2, Counselor Rossignol. Number 9, Counselor Turco. Seat number 1. No. Counselor Welton. Number 7.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I will now entertain any motions, orders, and resolutions. Seeing none, I'd like to welcome back the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Concert Choir to perform the Patriotic Trilogy.
Land of the Pilgrim's Pride.
juice. Just grab a couple waters.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons and the choir. That was fantastic, as usual. And now, after several years as serving as the mayor of the city of Salem, on behalf of the Commonwealth, our current Lieutenant Governor, Kim Driscoll, is here to introduce Mayor Edward A. Betancourt, Jr. Please come forward.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. My commute's gotten a little bit longer these days, so it's always great to have a close-to-home event at the end of the evening. I think my house is actually closer to Peabody City Hall than it is to Salem City Hall. Imagine that. I'm so grateful to be able to join all of you, both the mayor, members of the council, the school committee, so many people who work hard every single day in service to the residents of this great city. I've always thought as mayor, both Ted and I were not just tanners and witches. We really were a combined force trying to do good work on the North Shore. So it's a real pleasure to be here to both introduce you and to celebrate the work that's happening, largely led by the people in this room, especially Mayor. I always feel like when you're lucky enough to live in a place that you love, the best job you can have is mayor and being involved in local government and helping make your community grow and thrive and get better. And that's the other reason I'm so thrilled to be with all of you. I take great pride in the work that local government delivers every single day in communities just like this one. But frankly, throughout Massachusetts, all 351 cities and towns, there are people who really give of themselves, sacrifice time with their family. Nobody does this work for the money. You do it because you love where you live. And it's also a job. Like, there's no hiding when you're in local government. You've got to deliver results every day. I loved local government because it's also nonpartisan. Some of the bickering that we see going on in Washington and sometimes in Boston, I like to think not too often, have to do with, other politics. And in local government, it's nonpartisan. There's no Republican or Democratic pothole. There's just a pothole, and it's got to get fixed, along with a whole slew of other challenges that we have. And when we think about this work, and when we think about this work in local government, if you think about the branch of government you rely on the most in your everyday lives, it's what you do here in this city and in countless other places. Educating your children, keeping your neighborhood safe, investing in those amazing places where we get to spend time, whether it's a park or a beach or a favorite corner, driving the local economy, crafting a vision, that all happens locally. And as someone who had the good fortune to serve as mayor of my community for 17 years, I can tell you firsthand that the role that we see in state government is really to uplift and empower what happens locally. I'm so fortunate to be serving alongside Governor Maura Healey, someone who, like Ted and myself, like we all played a little bit of hoop, which I appreciate because governing really is a team sport. When I think about the work that we're doing in the local government, we have such gratitude, frankly, in the state government, we have such gratitude to be in these roles, to be in a position to shape policies and shift resources, to help drive, a vision for the Commonwealth. None of that happens unless we're able to work in collaboration with local government. Having great housing goals and a real challenge to try and make sure community members can live in the communities they love or work in the communities they love, that requires local collaboration. Driving a strong transportation and infrastructure system as we think about our nearly 400-year-old cities and towns, roads that were built for horse and buggy, making sure we can still traverse them today in all the various ways that we do. We may be able to fund those policies and give shape to them, but where the work actually gets done is in somebody's hometown. And I think that's what drives us every day as state leaders, is to lift up and empower and listen to the needs and the opportunity to collaborate on the things that make our community special and our Commonwealth special. So it's really clear to us when we have healthy and strong communities, we have a healthy and strong Commonwealth. So a big focus of the work we've been doing the last 2 years and certainly hope to do going forward is to ensure that we're not only thinking about the needs of today, but a real vision for tomorrow, for that next generation. And in 2026, we'll be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. We think that's a pretty big deal. If you think about it, ordinary people, just like us, 250 years ago, decided to risk life and limb. They were farmers and merchants and individuals who were working and trying to raise their family, and decided that, hey, maybe there's something better than being beholden to a monarchy that was really far away. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to self-govern. That all started here. We were the troublemakers who threw tea in the harbor, and the folks where those first battles took place and blood was lost was here in Massachusetts. And to think, 250 years later, we have this ability to not only celebrate and commemorate the individuals who put in place this new concept. There was no playbook for them to follow. And largely, as you all know, I hope, the Declaration was penned by people from Massachusetts, like the likes of John Adams and many more. As we celebrate, we head into 2026. Most of our battles actually took place in 2025, so we'll be celebrating some of that as well. Huzzah is coming in your future. We also were trying to think about what's our gift to the next generation. How do we prepare to ensure that the sacrifices that individuals made for a better country, they didn't know it at the time it would be a country, but it was like, what's our gift? What's that innovative spirit that's in our DNA, that revolutionary ideas, places that have amazing histories like Peabody, like my community next door, like how do we actually think about empowering ourselves to tackle some of our biggest challenges with that same fervor that they did nearly 250 years ago. And so we're fortunate to be in these positions, to be able to celebrate not only our history, but also to be thinking about how we can solidify an amazing future for those amazing students who we just heard singing, and for all the other generations that are relying on our goodwill, our commitment to time and resources in betterment of our communities. And so being here today is special for me, not just because we get to celebrate the good work going on in Peabody that the mayor has been leading. He's been a point guard his whole life. He continues to be a pretty good one. But also the collaboration that it takes between state government and local government to do those good deeds and to ensure that we're thinking about the opportunities ahead. That's the real effort that I'm here to celebrate. The work that we've done and the work that we'll do, and that takes leadership on the ground. It is, as I said, the best job in the world that you can have, to be the mayor of your community, particularly if you love the place you live. It's also the hardest job, and it definitely takes that teamwork, the framing of a vision. What's the North Star that we're going to follow as a community? Not just the people in this room, but the private sector, partners, the institutions that we all rely on. How do we galvanize our support so we're all rowing in the same direction towards a common goal? And what I've seen in my opportunity to work alongside Ted, and certainly observe him in this role, is a real commitment and desire to drive a better future for Peabody, in collaboration with all of you, for finding ways to overcome hurdles, to address challenges, and to ensure that we've got a bright future no matter what is thrown at us here in Peabody. So I'm so pleased to be here to celebrate this midterm transition of power. Congratulations, Council President Daigle. Congratulations, Councilor Peach, for the work that you did to help support that transition. And as we look for the days ahead and the months ahead, and the budgets we're preparing and the opportunities to work with our cities and towns, we think of Peabody as a leader, an opportunity to collaborate on schools and education, the work that Josh is doing to ensure we're being innovative, to try and make sure we have the funding with the legislative delegation who was here. Peabody has outstanding representatives in the legislature, with my former colleague and current colleague in a different role, Senator Lovely, and both Representatives Walsh and Cairns, who are no strangers to calling me and advocating on your behalf, you should know, for good things, and this opportunity to work in concert with all of you to ensure that we have a bright Peabody going forward for years to come. So it's truly my honor to introduce not only someone who's a dear friend, someone who understands the value of teamwork, I think exhibits it every day, working together on behalf of the residents, businesses, and students in this community, and that's my friend, Ted Betancourt.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, and we are very honored, and I'm personally honored to have you here today. I know your job is immense, and you could be 100 different places today, but to be in Peabody is very special to me and to the city, so thank you so much for your words. Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to be here with you tonight. Let me start by first recognizing my family, and I'd ask them to stand up. So wait. Monday night is basketball night. There are 3 games going on right as we speak in my family, so my whole family is there at the games, and in my house, it's family, basketball, bowling, and then city government is pretty far down on the list. So I thankfully have my sister Karen, who's here today, who I knew wouldn't stand because she's the shyest of my family. But she is an amazing person. She works for the Department of Children and Families and oversees and plays a critical role in adoptions and in foster families. And she has a big heart, and she's a wonderful person. But I did want to recognize my wife, Andrea, my 4 children, Taylor, Allison, Avery, and Brady, and my parents, Barb and Eddie, who are always here, but we wanted them to be at the game to support our children and our cousins, so that's where they are tonight. It is my privilege to recognize our elected officials in attendance tonight, including my friend, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, but our State Senator Joan Lovely, our State Representatives Tom Walsh and Sally Currens. Thank you all for your leadership, friendship, and for your ongoing commitment to our city and our state. Time and time again, you have come through for Peabody, and I thank you. To the members of the City Council, School Committee, Electric Light Commission, and Board of Library Trustees, thank you for the hard work that you do each day on behalf of your constituents. Each of you have made a difference, and each of you I know will continue to make a difference, and thank you. I would like to thank all our city department heads, staff, and municipal employees for dedicating your many talents and your professional lives towards improving our city every day. I also extend my deep gratitude to the many volunteers who serve and who have served over the years on our boards and commissions. Important work takes place, and I'm grateful for all the people that work and volunteer for the city of Peabody. And of course, I want to recognize our military veterans and their families and say thank you for your service to our country. You are all our true heroes. Thank you. Thank you as well to the men and women who serve our community as police officers and firefighters. We are forever grateful to your commitment to public safety and your many sacrifices you make on our behalf. Thank you. Congratulations to my good friend Julie Daigle on her election as City Council President. Julie is a strong voice for the residents of Ward 4 and a tireless advocate for the city of Peabody. Whether volunteering her time at community events or lending a hand to helping those in need, Julie always steps up for the good of our city. Thank you, Julie. Thank you to our outgoing Council President, Stephanie Peach. During her term as president, Stephanie demonstrated strong leadership and organizational skills, as well as a willingness to work with my administration and people across the city to help move our city forward. Our community is extremely grateful, Stephanie, for your steady hand at the helm of the council. Thank you. When I was first elected mayor, I identified my top priorities as public safety, education, economic development and infrastructure, and the quality of life of our residents. As we look back on 2024 and look forward to 2025, I feel that Peabody is making great strides in each of these key areas. As you know, construction of Peabody's new police and public safety headquarters is well underway. Located in an area adjacent to the Higgins Middle School, this state-of-the-art complex will serve as the administrative headquarters for the Peabody Police Department, the Peabody Fire Department, and our emergency management services. Having 3 public safety agencies working together under one roof will be invaluable, particularly in the event of a citywide weather or other emergency scenario. This past year, pre-construction site work was completed, and building construction is set to begin in early this spring. I am happy to report that we are on track to meet our goal of opening the facility by the end of next year. I believe this project represents a tremendous step forward in providing Peabody residents and businesses a more safe and secure future. Our city's namesake, George Peabody, believed that education is a debt due from present to future generations. So deeply was his belief in the importance of education that he bestowed much of his vast fortune to building lasting opportunities for children and families to learn and grow. As mayor, I believe we have an obligation to continue George Peabody's legacy by investing in our students, teachers, administration, staff, and of course, in our school buildings. Since becoming mayor, we have partnered with the state to extend the life of several of our neighborhood elementary schools, including the Burke, the West, and McCarthy schools. In 2016, we opened the new Higgins Middle School, to date the largest construction project in the city's history, which benefited from a 56% state reimbursement. And in 2024, we celebrated the new Welch School, which has been transformed into a modern, green energy efficient, full-year facility for educational and community use. The MSBA also partnered with us on this project to reimburse the city over 60% of the construction costs. Last year, the Massachusetts School Building Authority's Board of Directors voted to invite the City of Peabody into its funding program to build a new Veterans Memorial High School. This past fall, I appointed the members of our new high school building committee, which is chaired by school committee member Beverly Ann Griffin Dunn and includes our outstanding superintendent, Dr. Josh Fadala, and his team, local officials, as well as experts with backgrounds in the building and trades, and of course, in education. In the months ahead, I will appear before the City Council to request an initial bond order for the project feasibility study. The new Peabody Veterans Memorial High School will become the largest construction project in Peabody's history. It will require several years of hard work and determination. Once complete, however, the new school will be a source of great pride for our community and for the entire region. Yes. When I first became mayor, it was clear that our city's aging infrastructure would require immediate and sustained attention. And together, over the past decade plus, we've invested millions of dollars to reduce downtown flooding, make Main Street safer for pedestrians and traffic, restore Crystal Lake to its former beauty and luster, and rebuild our city's water distribution system, among other several infrastructure improvement projects. In 2024, we embarked upon the Central Street Improvement Project with $20 million in state and federal funds to completely rebuild the corridor beginning at its intersection with Walnut Street, right out front near Dunkin' Donuts, and continuing through the intersection of Endicott Street and Route 114 at Wilson Square. The project includes a new road surface, sidewalks and curbs, crosswalks, traffic signals, and modern design amenities. Construction is scheduled to continue through the 2026 construction season. Once complete, the Central Street project will greatly improve downtown traffic flow, accessibility, and the safety and quality of life of countless Peabody residents and business owners. It is going to be a monster, but it is going to be so beautiful when it is done. Investing in the quality of life of Peabody residents continues to be among my top priorities. I am very happy to report that my administration has reached an agreement just last week to purchase 165 acres of open space from Rousselot Peabody for $25 million. This land purchase includes significant water well sources that, with proper infrastructure in place, will provide Peabody residents with millions of gallons of additional drinking water. The purchase will further lessen our city's reliance on expensive MWRA water and may provide the city with a new source of revenue going forward. I want to be sure to clarify that this acquisition does not include the Rousselot factory site. Our engineers recently performed an assessment of the Rousselot well sources and associated property, as well as the water quality, which generated positive results. Currently, they are performing additional environmental testing that will be required pursuant to a purchase and sale agreement. Working together in 2020, we embarked on a 4-phase, $32 million project to modernize Peabody's water treatment and distribution system. The Clean and Sustainable Water Future project enabled us to continue utilizing our own natural resources, producing our own water, and controlling our own water rates. Similar to that project, this open space purchase builds on our existing water resources while helping us maintain control of our water production and distribution for the future. This purchase also enables the city to preserve the remaining acreage as open space in perpetuity. Coupled with our purchase in 2023 of 80 acres of open space adjacent to 80 Granite Street, and the 2024 purchase of 135 acres of open space for the meadow at Peabody Golf Course, the city will have purchased and preserved nearly 400 acres of open space in the past 2 years alone. Later this month, I will appear before the City Council to discuss the particulars of the acquisition and to request support to sign a purchase and sale agreement and to move forward with our bond order. Last month, I presented to the City Council an update on the continued strength of our city's finances. Peabody's economy, particularly our housing market and commercial sector, have continued to surpass expectations. Our average residential home value has increased by nearly 6% to $615,000, the highest in Peabody history. Homes for sale in Peabody continue to come off the market quickly and very often above asking price. Our investment together in public safety, education, infrastructure, and quality of life continues to pay dividends. We continue to deliver the high level of municipal services that residents expect, while boasting one of the very lowest residential tax bill of any city or town in Essex County and among the very lowest in all of Massachusetts. In closing, this past year was one of significant progress for Peabody in terms of public safety, education, infrastructure, quality of life, and our continued financial strength. Along the way, in 2024, we became a green community, began creating a new master plan for our city, designed the future expansion of the Peabody Independence Greenway, our bike path, awarded 25 medals of fidelity to the families of our fallen military heroes, made safety improvements to some of our most dangerous city intersections, promoted some outstanding police officers, and hired our city's newest police officers and firefighters. As promising a year as 2024 was, I believe 2025 will be looked upon as a truly watershed year in our city's history as we move forward together in a spirit of great optimism and promise. And I look forward to working with all of you to build upon our success and continue to make Peabody a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to 2025 working with all of you and for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And now I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.